Chances are you know Marie Kondo, the world-renowned tidying expert, best-selling author, and star of the hit Netflix series Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. But while fans loved watching Kondo reorganize other people's clutter on her show, many have wondered what this organization maven's home is actually like. Here's what we know.
Hello, I'm Marie Kondo. 私のミッションは片付けによって世界をときめかせていくことです。
Kondo made a name for herself in America as a decluttering guru, turning many home dwellers onto her unique KonMari method. The Japanese tidying expert who developed a love for organizing at the age of 5 bases many of her strategies on Japanese culture where tidiness is a part of everyday life. The expert explained her minimalistic approach, telling HuffPost, "Properties and homes in Japan are tiny. I grew up in a house where my family of 5 would unfold futons and sleep side by side in a room of about 13 meters by 13 meters. There isn't much space for storage, so small furniture and appliances are necessary." Kondo learned to keep her living space clutter-free after the birth of her daughter in 2015, as she explained to Good Housekeeping. "Spatially, it was a big challenge after I gave birth to my baby. A lot of clothes and diapers and things like that. Storage space became a big challenge." While Kondo grew up in Japan, the tidying guru has taken her organizing skills to California. Kondo, who believes that things should be discarded if they no longer, quote, spark joy, explained on her blog, "I usually move once a year. The longest my husband and I have lived in one house is a year and a half." Not long before her Netflix series premiered in January 2019, Kondo moved into a home in Los Angeles with her husband and 2 daughters, per the LA Times. This is likely because the 8 families featured on the show's first season all live around California.
The point here is that I'm not going to tidy for you. It's everyone's job to tidy their own space.
Due to Kondo's minimalist approach to cleaning as seen on her series, it's easy to assume her own home is also minimalistic. But that's not exactly the case. She explained to Elle Decor, "I don't have a particular decorating style, but one thing that I like to maintain in my house is to have a very purified environment." That purified environment involves allowing fresh air into her home, placing crystals in different rooms throughout the house, and featuring salt as part of Japanese tradition. Kondo's daily life consists of setting the mood, restoring balance, and being thankful for what she has. One of the places in Kondo's home where she expresses her gratitude is at her Japanese-style kamidana, a Shinto household altar. Every morning, Kondo wakes up around 6 a.m., often without an alarm clock, burns some incense, opens her windows to let in fresh air, and kneels before the altar to pray. The tidying expert explained to The Cut, "I'll pray for the health of my family and friends, and also for myself to get done as much as possible what needs to be done." While the small shrine stems from the Shinto religion, Kondo explained her practices are not a religious one, adding, "This is not a religious thing really at all. It's just for me to take this time every morning to feel gratitude. It's a practice I started when I was still single, maybe about 7 years ago." Since launching her KonMari consulting business at age 19, Kondo has amassed a large fan following, as well as more than 200 certified KonMari consultants, helping to spread her tidy gospel.
This is a very deep process, no matter what.
But surprisingly, the decluttering queen doesn't have an office of her own. Instead, Kondo works in a corner of her house, telling The Cut, "I don't have a separate room that I use as an office, but I do have my corner with an antique desk and chair that I use for work." The business-savvy mother of 2 usually works on her laptop and sips on tea, and she has a little vase of flowers or a scented spray on her desk. She told the outlet, "For work, I like a scent with a mint or a grapefruit base, so I'll spray some of that and then get started writing down the day's tasks on a notepad." Many of Kondo's clients seem to particularly struggle with the kitchen.
I don't know what it is about the kitchen. Honestly, I feel like I can never keep it clean. It was really after I had kids that everything just came full front. I'm like, I can't do all this.
But Kondo herself doesn't need a lot of help reorganizing her kitchen, simply because she doesn't own a lot of cookware to begin with. She told Bon Appetit, The last thing I KonMari'd from my kitchen was nothing. I have the opposite problem. I always have very few items in the kitchen, so right now I'm actually adding to it. Recently, I've replaced my cutting boards with something that truly sparks joy for me, made from ginkgo trees. I'm also in the market for a big, sharp knife. In the KonMari method, kitchen items fall under the miscellaneous category, so the process for organizing kitchen clutter isn't as detailed as it is for other categories. However, as with the rest of the areas in the home, it's important to only keep items that spark joy. You probably won't be surprised to find out that the tidying expert consumes multiple cups of tea each day as part of her routine. Kondo told The Cut, "I probably have about 15 different kinds of tea in my cupboard at any given time." Kondo utilizes her tea time as a needed break from work, and she usually rewards herself with an additional cup after completing a task. She told the outlet, "I drink multiple cups of tea a day, so that will be my break. After I've accomplished a few things or start to feel tired, I'll get up and make another cup." Some of Kondo's go-to teas include green tea, white tea, and matcha tea, which she drinks at breakfast per bon appetit, and an herb tea when she wakes up in the morning and at night. According to Kondo's website, her tea drinking originates from her childhood, where Kondo was introduced to the Japanese tea ceremony from her paternal grandmother. As part of Kondo's popular decluttering method, she urges people to express gratitude for the beauty in the world around them.
これはあなたがときめく人生を送るためのファーストステップです。
Kondo can often be seen expressing her gratitude toward nature and plant life on Instagram because it's one of the things that brings her great joy. One can only assume then that the tidying expert loves flowers because they're all over her house. Kondo explained to The Cut, "Before I go to bed, I'll go around the house and change the water in the flower vases. I have flowers all over the place." Along with filling her home with colorful blooms that bring inspiration, Kondo likes to fill any hotel rooms she checks into with beautiful arrangements in order to spark joy while traveling. The mom also includes her family on her flower excursions too, according to her Instagram, and she fills her yard with plants. For real, her home must smell amazing. After Kondo's series premiered on Netflix, viewers around the globe were hooked on the expert's decluttering tactics, but some took issue with her rule that advised getting rid of too many books. On her show and in her book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing, Kondo advocates for tossing things that don't bring joy to a person's life. And for Kondo, having 30 books in her home was just too much. While her comments were met with criticism, Kondo explained to the Los Angeles Times that there may have been a misunderstanding regarding the concept, saying, "I do think there are misconceptions. I think this occurred because in one of my books, I said that when I was tidying and going through my books, I had about 30 books left. Maybe misreading there." Earlier that month, Kondo shared with IndieWire, "So it's not so much what I personally think about books. The question you should be asking is, what do you think about books?" Everyone has a habit they can't break, even Marie Kondo. While most of her philosophy revolves around finding a home for every item you own, sometimes the soft-spoken organizer can't follow her own rules. In an interview with The Guardian in 2018, Kondo said, "I love wearing slippers, but I take them off in random places around the house. I can't keep them on for long, so they're scattered." In Kondo's perfect world, she makes sure to wipe off her shoes as soon as she enters her home before slipping on her comfy slippers. She explained to People magazine, "When I come home at the end of the day, I wipe the soles of shoes with gratitude before storing them in the closet near the entryway of my home. I then change into my house slippers." In between running a decluttering empire, raising 2 small children, and starring in her own Netflix series, it's understandable that Kondo may leave her slippers lying around on occasion. Still, we doubt her home ever gets too messy.
Is your home tidy?
Sorting through sentimental items can be the hardest part of Kondo's KonMari method, which is why she recommends saving that part of the decluttering process for last. In the episode Sparking Joy After a Loss, Kondo guided a widow through the tidying process, a journey which included sorting through her late husband's belongings.
I don't want to just, dump it. I want to be thoughtful about it.
Along every step of the way, Kondo explained the importance of offering a heartfelt thank you to the personal items before discarding them.
It's just kind of a real jolt to see all this life, that we've lived and the dreams that he had, and, they're now in a pile on the floor.
While Kondo is a pro when it comes to helping others say goodbye to sentimental items, she reluctantly admitted to her inability to get rid of one particular personal item, telling Good Housekeeping, "So I have this stuffed seal. It's very small, it was a gift from my father, and even though I'm an adult, I still keep it on my shelf. It's something I can't part with." So you'll find at least one stuffed animal in Marie Kondo's home, displayed properly, of course. Kondo is a successful mother of 2 lively little girls, and she's doing her best to maintain her tidying business while raising them to be tidy as well.
子供たちに自分が何をしているのかということを話しかけてあげてください。そうすることによって子供も母親が片付けている様子を見て学んでくれます。
Often traveling for interviews and public appearances, Kondo can look back on happy memories of her girls on her phone when she needs to. But Kondo also likes to have physical photos around her as well, specifically around her writing space at her home, because as she told Variety, it, quote, replenishes her energy. She described the 2 pictures that, quote, give her a little bit of a squeeze in the heart. They are of her younger daughter smiling from ear to ear for the first time and a self-portrait of her oldest daughter. As Kondo wrote in an Instagram post, "My children show me how joy manifests itself in the body." Kondo's home features many items that spark joy for her. After all, it's important for her to create a serene space where she can unleash her creativity. But in order for Kondo to get any work done, she likes to have a purified space.
Yeah, I have 2 crystals.
いつもこれ持ち歩いてるんですか？
Yes, my mother gave them to me for good luck. Do you have a collection too?
Yes.
You do?
One of the things she surrounds herself with at home are crystals. As she told Variety, she likes to place a small crystal close to her laptop while she places larger crystals around the room. She uses the crystals to cleanse the air around her, a practice she picked up before publishing her hit book. She explained to Variety, "I am usually writing about how to spark more joy in our lives and how to let the atmosphere around us spark more joy, so it's very important that the spaces in which I create also spark joy for me." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.